Although sometimes I wonder someone like you to bring into the studio, because you may not have good news for us. So tell us about the latest index and what is it telling us?
Yeah, so the Consumer Credit Index fell from 49.5 to 44.4 in this latest quarter. And what we've really seen is three things. One, we've been talking about the rise in unsecured lending, and what we're really seeing now is some of those more consumers in the high-risk categories are falling behind on their bills. I think two, certainly what occurred in Q4 with the strikes, as well as the Stats SA and AdCorp data, has been quite negative around employment. And then thirdly, I think non-discretionary inflation, although it's still around 6%, if you look at electricity, power, public transport, it's still quite high.
All right, so not a great picture that you're painting, and I'm just wondering, obviously we've just had the holidays come in. Are we saying that the banks that have been pushing these unsecured loans, it's coming back to bite them in the bum, as it were?
So in Q3 and Q4 last year, some of the lenders did start to tighten up their credit policy. So it's more difficult now for consumers to get credit. But I still think you are seeing a lag effect from consumers or the higher risk consumers that received credit in 2012, really feeling stressed given the economic climate in 2013.
All right, so distressful in Q1 of 2012, 2013. What's the trend then? If we go back a few years to where we are now, what have we seen?
So this is certainly a low level, although it hasn't been the bottom. I think in 2007, 2008, we were near the 40 mark, so we would need to fall a further 10%. But it certainly is what I would consider to be a moderate level of consumer stress.
All right, okay, well, let's just take a look at that chart there, because it does paint quite a distressing picture. So what does it paint for going forwards? What do you think's lying ahead, as it were?
Yeah, so our prediction is that delinquency levels are going to remain high. As I said, the lenders have tightened credit policy, but there will still be high delinquencies. And our outlook for the economy is isn't great, isn't terrible. I think we're going to kind of bump along 2.5% growth. Unemployment is still a challenge, so we don't see any dramatic increase in consumer credit health. So we think we're going to remain in a period of stress.
All right. So should we be concerned? We've got the budget coming up and all sorts of issues. What should we be thinking as consumers, and what should policymakers be thinking, and lenders as well?
I think consumers should always be diligent before they take out additional credit. They need to understand that they can afford to repay this. They need to make sure, given inflation, that they keep a little bit of space in their budget because they know that the cost of basic services are going to go up. From a macroeconomic perspective, I think certainly this indicates that consumer spending is probably going to be muted, given the fact that credit is tight now and consumers are already strapped.
All right, Geoff, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you very much indeed for highlighting this distressing news, but I suppose it serves as a warning for us to correct our behaviour. Thank you so much for your time. All right, that was